Hey everyone, it's time for a cucumber update. Yeah, we're about done, I think. Now I'm gonna see there. They never did grow up the trellis. Uh, not much anyway. I don't know. I don't know if it's difference in the variety, or if it's because the frost got them and knocked them back, and I had to replant them ones, or a little bit later maybe, or something. But they kept trying to grow out across the ground. I couldn't get them to climb. I kept trying to retrain them, and poke them around and get them to go up the trellis, and they just kind of refused. They just kept wanting to go out across the ground. So anyway, it kind of might have just been the wrong variety. Maybe it wasn't good. They're good viners. But anyway, that's what they ended up looking like. And it is time to pick some cucumbers. You look in there. Look at that. Yeah. That's a dandy there. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't know, 7 or 8 of them in there. I'm gonna lay the camera down, pick them, and I'll show you what we come up with. Look at that. 25 cucumbers off just that many vines. Yeah. 25. Not bad at all. There'll be more than that, because there's still a lot of blooms and a lot of little baby cucumbers starting on there, so I'll keep watering them. Vines look good and healthy, so they're not done. They'll make some more pickles. Okay, well, I think I'm gonna have to take a little break and go to town. I don't think I have all the ingredients I need to make pickles, so probably won't make pickles today. That might be tomorrow's project. But anyway, that's the next step. I'll turn these cucumbers into pickles. Hey everyone, time to make the pickles. Okay, so it's a new day. The other day when I picked my cucumbers, I got to the house and realized I didn't have all the ingredients I needed, all the spices, so we had to go get some mustard seed and some stuff like that. So today we're going to make the pickles, and I'm going to start out by peeling them. I like mine peeled. Personal choice. Some people like to leave peels on them. I prefer to take mine off. It's not an exact science, just do it however you like, but I'm going to use this potato peeler and peel my cucumbers. And then I'm going to move the camera here just a minute. Hang on. Yeah, that ought to be better. This little slicer deal here, I got this is what I use to slice them. I bought this at a thrift store for a couple dollars, and it works really good for slicing them, just perfect for pickles. That's my favorite pickle slicer. But anyway, got a little bowl that fits under it like that right there, and I'll show you how slick that works here in a minute. But anyway, I take my cucumber and my little tater peeler and peel them off. Now what we're making, I did a video once before on pickles, and that was dill pickles, and we canned them, and they turned out really good. They're pretty good pickles, dill pickles. What I'm going to make today is sweet pickles, and they're going to be freezer pickles, or refrigerator pickles. Guess it depends on how many you make. If you get a big enough batch, they're freezer pickles. If they don't last long enough to go in the freezer, you eat them all up, then they're refrigerator pickles. Alright, so that's just peel it off like that. And take my knife, cut it off a little shorter. That's what they look like inside. They're pretty good. Pretty nice cucumbers. I'll see if I can turn this. Get it where you can see that in the frame real good. Should be pretty good right there. Got a little crank on this side. Put the cucumber on this side. Slice her off. Works pretty slick. See how thin that slices them up? Man, that makes good pickles. I really like them like that. I'll do the other side. See if I can hold it a little better. A little straighter. Missed my bowl. Yeah, that's a dandy slice. That's it. One down. One cucumber. Alright. Now I put all the peels that I take off, I'm putting them in a bowl over there. I'll take them out to the chickens. They'll enjoy them. So anyway, I'm going to go through and peel and slice the rest of these cucumbers, and I'll get back to you with the next step. Okay, so that's 3 cucumbers right there. Now every time, that's a batch. That's what I like to use. That's the bowl. That's how many I'm going to make at one time. Like I say, when I make salsa, or let me get you back up here for a second. Sorry about all that shaky movement there. When I make salsa or something like that, I very seldom get them to come out exactly the same every time. I've made 2 batches of something in the same day, and they'll be totally different when you go to eat them. I'm not much on measurements and doing it just exactly right. But anyway, what I do is that was 3 cucumbers, and so every time I get that many in my bowl and I need to dump it, then I salt them. And so not really measurement, I just very gently see the salt start coming out. Salt them a little bit like that, and dump them in the bowl. And then after I dump them in there, I can get the other side of the stone and just salt it a little bit more. Just you probably end up with the whole batch. You'll end up with 3 or 4 teaspoons full of salt probably on them. Time you get a little bit on each batch. So just make sure they're good and salty, and I salt them down and they're soaking in that salt. Okay, so I'm trying to get that frame so that I can talk to you and you can still see what I'm doing. I don't have to keep moving it back and forth. But anyway, I went down to the garden and pulled some onions. I planted one of those little variety bags you get from Walmart that's got all the different onions. So I got some white ones and some purple ones and some yellow ones. You can get a little variety bag when it's time, the little onion bulbs when in the spring when you plant them, and that's what these was. But anyway, I went down to get them, and I realized that I ate so many green onions when they was first coming up. I don't have a real big onion crop this year, but I think I can get enough. Now what I want to do is, I kind of lost track of how many times I dumped that bowl with pickles, but I showed you how the size of the container that I'm making of all. I put probably uh, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm gonna say 6. I probably filled that bowl 6 times and dumped in there, and I'm gonna fill this bowl 1 time with onions now. So that's kind of the ratio, maybe. Let's call it 6 to 1. But there again, it's not an exact science. If you like a lot of onions in your sweet pickles, then by all means put more onions in it. But I'm gonna grind up or chop up what I got here and slice them up. I'm just going to use the same slicer that I used for my pickles, and I'm gonna peel this onion down to get to the good part of the onion, and then I'm going to hold it on there. I'm going to slice it just like I did the pickles, and slice up some onion and put it in there. That should be good enough. Let's see. I'm going to hold it so I don't want to cut it. I'm going to cut it this way and then slice it from that way, and it should make little pieces. Like that. And I'm going to have plenty of onion. That one onion, put quite a few in there. So I'll slice up a few more, fill my little bowl with onions, and we'll add them to our pickle mix. Alright, so that's how many onions we ended up with. We got 1 bowl of onions. I'm going to do it the same way with salt. Now this is just non-iodized great value salt. I don't know if the non-iodized or iodized makes any difference or not. Just always heard you're supposed to use the non-iodized when you're canning and pickling and stuff like that, so I did it. Now I know you can buy special pickling salt too. I don't know if that makes any difference or not either. But anyway, I did the same thing. Salted them, dumped them in there, and then salted them again so I can get the other side of what was in the bowl. Now I'm going to try to stir them a little bit, and I might salt them again. I actually just turned around here a little bit so you can see it better. I actually kind of got my bowl a little full. See if we can still get them mixed up here. Stir it up in that salt. Okay, that should be mixed up. I want all of them to be touching that salt. Now, I'm going to taste one, see if it tastes salty. Man, an onion. I think I'm going to salt it all again and stir it some more. Slice that onion up. A big old chunk of onion that didn't get ground up. I'm going to chop him up a little. Okay. See if I can taste the salt. I don't know. Cucumber. I think that's pretty good. Now, I'm going to let them set in that salt for a while we mix up our other ingredients. Okay, now for this next part, I think you could use apple cider vinegar or white vinegar, either one. I want to use apple cider vinegar if I have enough, and if I don't, I'm going to mix them and put some the white vinegar in there, but honestly I don't think it really matters. I think you could use them interchangeably. It might change taste a little bit, I'm not sure. But I'm going to use the apple cider vinegar, and I'm going to pour this kind of slow and easy because I don't want to get the mother in there. It's got the sediment in the bottom of it there. I'd rather not have too much of that in there. I'll pour it kind of slow. I'll stop right there. I'd rather not have too many of the solids in there. So now what I'm going to do now is I got this white vinegar. Anyway, I'm going to fill it up to the 2-cup mark. Okay. So we'll mix together. Two cups of vinegar and 4 cups of sugar. One. Might have the whole thing in there. Okay, there's 2. I'm going to stir that up. And we'll add some more. much. Okay. Be right back and we'll get the rest of the ingredients. Okay, so these are the rest of the ingredients that we're going to use. I need a teaspoon of whole mustard seed, go. I want 1 teaspoon of celery seed, one teaspoon of turmeric, ground turmeric. Uh-oh, that one won't fit in there. This might be a mess. Ah, just what I figured. Okay, that wasn't too bad. One of those. And a half a teaspoon owl. Okay, I'm gonna clean that mess up. Be right back. Okay, now basically done. You keep this got set in the the cucumber and it's in the salt, and then this will mix that sugar up better. You want to stir it often, and then we'll all this set for about 3 hours, give or take. It'll take at least 3 hours. That'll let the cucumbers over there. Let me trade them my scrap bucket so you can see it. Okay. I think I'll even salt them a little bit more than I'd say, but you can't get too much salt on it because we're going to rinse these later anyway. We'll rinse and drain them. I just wanted to set in that salt for that 3 hours. And then the same way, the sugar in this vinegar, it'll take it a long time to dissolve. So over the next 3 hours, just stir it every time you walk by it. I've actually got other things I need to go do. And then this evening, after this has some time, I'll be back. Alright, welcome back. Okay, it's been about 5 hours actually instead of 3. I got kind of busy doing other things. I'll show you what we got here. They've been soaking in that salt all that time. Now look at all this juice. I didn't put any water in it. All it was the cucumbers, the onions, and the salt. Now look at this. See how much water it made? Alright, now I'm going to go over here to the sink. I'm going to drain these all off. Strain them through that colander. And then I'm going to dump them in this other pan. I got this big stainless pan here. I'm going to put them in there to mix the other stuff, sauce up with them. So I don't know if I can do this and get the camera in the right spot, so I'm going to shut it off. And when you come back, we'll be in that stainless pot ready to go. I'm just going to drain them through the colander. I'll rinse them a little bit, not a lot. I kind of want to leave them kind of salty. They taste good right now. Right there. They're not too salty. It tastes pretty good, so I don't want too much of the salt out, but I'll rinse them a little bit. Get rid of all that water. Alright. And there they are in the pot. Alright. So now, let's see how our second element to this concoction came out. It smells like pickles. Still got a little undissolved sugar in the bottom of it. That's a lot of sugar. I'm going to stir this up. I'll stir on it for a minute, see if I can stir that sugar in. Hopefully the rest of it will dissolve. Then we'll dump it over the pickles. Stir it up good. Alright, there it is. I got the sugar all mixed up. There's no sugar in the bottom. So now, I'm going to dump this in my pickles. A little bit of undissolved sugar in the bottom. Now that, what it looks like. Now, I'm going to stir them up just a little bit, and then I'm going to dump them back in my plastic bowl, just because I have a good lid for it. And then they go in the refrigerator, and we'll check on them tomorrow. So, probably do one more clip tomorrow, kind of see how they turned out. And we're about done with this. Hey everyone, we are back. And there's what the end product looks like. Wish I could show you what they tasted like. But they're pretty good. Good and sweet pickles. Now, these are freezer jars. I'm going to scoop them up in the freezer jars. Plastic leak-proof lids. Probably keep one of them in the refrigerator and eat out of them right now. The rest of them will go in the deep freeze. So I'm going to jar these up. Just use a ladle here and dip them out. And it's been about 3 days since the last clip. And that's about how long you want to let them set and soak. And they'll get better as time goes on in the refrigerator. I think then when you take them out of the freezer and then put one in the refrigerator, it's the same way. They get better the longer they go. About like that. Put the lid on it. Put them in the freezer. And we'll jar the rest of these up. And I guess that's it. That's from planting the seeds in the garden all the way up till pickles in the freezer. So, thanks for watching.